Revelation 2546. From the 12th of November 1942. Cheaval on earth. Cry for help. New earth. No force on earth is able to stop or avert the events which must affect people for the sake of their spiritual development. For all human will is powerless in the face of divine will, and thus it will happen as God has determined since eternity. And only those who bow down to God's will, who accept everything from His hand grasped and devoted, will derive benefit for their soul. Spiritual development continues to decline and people only walk the earth as living beings who carry out their functions but have severed all connection with their Creator. They are only concerned with gathering earthly successes and disregard their actual task, the higher development of the spirit. Thus they make unjustified use of the vitality, since they do not use it in accordance with divine will but strive for and accomplish things with it which only mean an increase of matter, which they are actually meant to overcome. Consequently, people must be deprived of the possibility of life, for they misuse the grace of embodiment on earth granted to them. A spiritual low is to be recorded which hardly allows for an upliftment to be expected. And this low is the occasion for a great upheaval on earth which extends to all areas. People will be torn from their customary lives and forced into completely new circumstances. They will have to struggle with the greatest difficulties and suffer unspeakably. And this changed way of life can have a beneficial effect on them if they seriously think about it and try to fathom the cause of it. But equally, all suffering and misery can be in vain if the human being rebels and only strives to restore the old earthly good life. Then this mission of God has been in vain for him and there is no further possibility on earth to further his spiritual development. Earthly power, however, cannot do anything against this powerful event. It is powerless in the face of divine intervention and has to bow down under God's will. Consequently, everyone will be affected, great and small, poor and rich. All will have to recognize the transience of earthly life, no one will be able to protect himself from it, and no one will find help anywhere else but with God. And anyone who is highly respected on earth will call for help just as much as the poorest and most disregarded on earth. For all people are equal before God and He seeks to win everyone over for Himself through His intervention. He wants to show everyone the path to Himself, and therefore He lets everyone come to Him in adversity. He takes everything from people because He wants to make them weak and helpless, for only in weakness will He find the path to God, and only helplessness will let him pray. And only the praying person can be helped by God, because he consciously desires His help. God knows no other goal than to guide everything to Himself, and He truly uses the right means to achieve this goal, yet He leaves people free, and therefore the success will not be very great, for the majority of people do not recognize God's loving hand but only see the work of destruction which, however, has become the fault of unloving humanity itself. They only see the decay of earthly things but not themselves as the cause of it. And the earth will still exist for a little while, so that humanity will find itself again and return to God. Yet it will never perish, it will absorb all living things into itself, it will be reshaped and shelter new living beings again, it will bear the people who withstand the final test and, as children of God, have acquired the right to animate the new earth. The earth will end a period of development, it will shelter the spiritual beings which are distant from God again in the new works of creation, and a new period of redemption will begin, as it has been determined since eternity. Amen.